Hey guys, Apple here. As you saw from the intro, I've made some pretty significant design changes in my golden carrot / golden apple crafter. So obviously here we have the old design that I actually ended up compacting down by quite a bit, but I sort of had a bit of an epiphany overnight and I came up with this. Now we'll actually show you guys how to build this one in just a sec. Just in case this is the first video you guys are watching and you haven't seen the other one, the whole reason I made this design in the first place was because every other design I could find on YouTube actually took a 3 redstone output, meaning the carrot had a chance, if you don't have a constant supply of gold nuggets, to end up in the wrong slot and completely break the entire system. To try and demonstrate what I mean by this, if we set this one here to 3, that will mean that this crafter here will spit out a carrot whenever there are 3 golden nuggets in it. So if we do 1, 2, 3, it spits out a carrot, but if we have a constant supply of nuggets, the nugget goes in first and the carrot ends up in the right spot. If you don't explicitly care about how this works and you just want to build it, you can skip to the timestamp on the screen. Otherwise, you can follow along. So here we have the mechanic for crafting an item whenever it fills up to 9 items. So that's this crafter, this comparator, this repeater, redstone block, and this block is also necessary here to power this crafter. Now, over this side, we have a crafter that is 4 of its inputs blocked, which outputs a signal of 4 into this comparator here, which is coming out of this crafter here. And that essentially means that when this crafter receives 4 gold nuggets, it will spit out a carrot, which in turn actually made the whole redstone circuit just small enough and just quick enough to make this redstone torch turn off quick enough that the carrot is actually released quicker than the 5th gold nugget. When this crafter has an output of 4, activating this bulb, it actually acts as a T flip-flop, which, to quote Mumbo Jumbo, essentially turns a 1-tick pulse into a constant redstone output, which activates this target block, activating these 2 powered rails, which these 2 observers, which are facing down, will detect for just over a tick, which is just long enough for this redstone torch to turn off and let a carrot through. So yeah, that's how it works. Now let's get to building it, shall we? Just quickly before I start the build, I've actually gone ahead and changed this solid block for a dispenser, which will automatically dispense the gold carrots when this crafter crafts them. That essentially just simplifies the item elevator and also makes the entire build stackable. Here we have the items required for this build. We've got 3 crafters, 5 redstone dust, 1 target block, 2 observers, 3 hoppers, 1 redstone torch, 1 copper bulb, 1 repeater, 5 comparators, 2 powered rails, 1 dispenser, your building block of choice, soul sand, glass, and as many water buckets as you'll need for the item elevator. Now our first step is going to be deciding where we want the water elevator to be. So for example, I'm going to put it here. I'm going to place my crafter facing this way with a dispenser against it like that. And we're going to place glass all around me like so. Then we're going to jump on top of this crafter here, place 1 comparator facing out, place 1 more comparator facing into that comparator with a crafter facing any direction that has all of its slots disabled. Next, we're going to place 1 block in front of that comparator there, a repeater going into that dispenser there, and a redstone dust behind the repeater. That should be all done. You can test this by grabbing any block and filling all 9 slots, and you should get a redstone output like that. Next, we want to grab our comparators, place 1 facing away from our crafter here. Step next to it again, place another comparator facing into that comparator with a crafter once again facing any direction, having 4 of its slots disabled. And then we're going to place a copper bulb in front of the first comparator here. Next, we're just going to jump on top of the copper bulb here and place a comparator facing out of it, place a redstone dust like this, and a target block next to that into 2 powered rails. And we're going to place 2 observers facing down on top of those powered rails, just like that. And then we're simply going to place one of your building blocks of choice on top of the bulb there, redstone in an L shape like that, and then a redstone torch on that block there. I just went ahead and placed these 2 hoppers off camera, and it should be all done. We can test this by simply placing some carrots up on the top hopper here, and placing some nuggets in the bottom one, and you should see it start to work. Yeah, so this dispenser is going to constantly have 1 carrot in it and it's going to spit the rest out like this. Now all we have left to do is make the elevator. So we break 1 block here, place 1 soul sand there, water bucket, and then we can place as many blocks high as we need. And it's all done. Now if you're building this in the nether, or you just don't want to have to deal with water, You can also do something like this with a dropper elevator where you just have a observer clock running into 3 of these. So you can just stack this however much you want, and any items that end up in there, it'll spit out the top. Now, if you did want to go that route as well, just make sure you change the dispenser for a dropper instead, as the dispenser will just make the items glitch through the droppers. Anyway, that'll just about do it for today, guys. If you have any questions or improvements, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Now, when the crafter activates here we have the hey guys,